Hi guys, how you doing? Evening Ross, how you doing pal? Alright. Evening Apple, that's good news pal. At least you can eat again properly and whatnot. So, back again. I won't be live next Saturday. I'm at Scale Scotland at B2 Murrayfield. So, I'll be busy. And Ross, once this Tirpitz is done, because I'm on that now, I'll be getting onto them Rebel kits that you sent whatnot. So that's next in line, as well as the USS Constitution, I think it's called. That'll be built, so it'll be alternative weekends, but that's once the Tirpitz is done. So I'm just gonna get the Tirpitz so we can try and remember where we're at, because I can't even remember very well. And I've got a little reveal stupid thing that I'm doing as well on the Tirpitz. You'll remember when I tell you anyway. So, down to the bench. The little stupid thing I've been up to is down here. I'll show you that afterwards. So, if you remember, before we had all this delightfulness here, and sure, if you remember, I assembled the guns and whatnot and then labelled them. This was about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I've got a few loose bits here, the little lifeboats and little boats and stuff. And I've got one crane, so there's another crane somewhere else. So I'll hunt around and find that at some point. Obviously, moving over to the shop, everything's kind of moved and disappeared. I can see a broken bit there, so that must be where the rest of the crane is somewhere. Oh, I see it actually. So I'll glue that back on and we'll fix that. I can't remember what colours I used, but there's the broken bit of crane there, so there's a bit that sticks on. We'll sort that out. So that's where I was at before. Dazzle camo, you lot insisted that none of the top sections are glued in, so they're just loose at the moment. So you lot insisted that I did the Dazzle camo, and you insisted that I'd done it with an airbrush. Courtesy of Ron, the kit was. That's where we're at. We've done a bit of weathering on the deck, so forth. Like I say, all this is loose, so. And then that was the other side. I'll try and hold it so I can turn it. So we had all the lovely, wonderful superstructure to try and line up and sort out, and then I started working on the guns. For a friend of mine that's going to be probably watching this in a little while, I was talking to him about curvy tape when I done the water line there, and that's the awkward bit there, up that end, where that curvy tape come real handy, because it's a funny old angle that way, and then of course the curve as well. So I use straight masking tape along here, and then I run it round with the curvy tape, so I've got no under bits, overspray, whatever you want to call it. So that's where we're at. Steel deck on here, a little bit dusty. I'll have to try and sort that out. Alright Steve, how you doing pal? Alright. What about the Land Raider and the Troop figure spread? They're in the queue, pal. They will get done. I'm slowly working through it all now, and we'll be there. So that's where we was at on the Tirpitz, if you remembered. And this is the stupidity bit. So just a little recap from a while back. Alright Paul, how you doing? More interesting than the Wales game. Guess they're losing, pal. Did you just see? Oh right, you wanted to see the curvy tape. Yeah, it was Paul I was on about actually. So what I done, Paul, I just showed everyone again. I had straight on there, And then when I come, these are all loose at the moment. When I came to this end, you've got a double angle, you see. You've got this angle here plus the curve, and it wouldn't sit right if you use normal tape. So when I got to here, on both sides, I stopped with a normal masking tape to keep the straight line, and I used the curvy tape and I bent it round, all the way round there, on both angles. You see that angle there, as well as the round one, and it brought it round nice and level. If you can see that, with no overspray. Because it's curvy tape, it bends and sits nice. So that's how I did it. So I did the line along here straight, and then a little bit of curvy tape and brought it round to about there, and then carried on with the straight stuff again. This end was okay with a straight because it's just a straight edge, straight round. So that's how I did that. So anyway, as you remember, evening Ron, cheers pal, you're gonna love this bit. So when I first started building this, sure, I had the little Ardo plane, and I was cracking up because one, the float struts were dead thick and straight. If you can see that, it's not a V shape like it should be. I was cracking up because it didn't have the little propeller, and I wasn't happy about the imitation glass, you know, the cockpit bit here. And if you remember, I couldn't remember what colour to paint it and all that lot and all that, and I was cracking up like mad because I was not happy about that. Then I went to Telford in November there, and I think you remember I did say that Ali, my pal, had seen L'Arsenal, a French company that done 3D printed or resin casted Ardo planes with the floats, and it also came with a wonderful little tiny microscopic V-shaped photo etch for the floats and my propellers. And I was cracking up, and he says, if you don't buy it, I'm going to tell everyone on YouTube that you had the opportunity and you never done it. So I brought them, as you do. So today I'm looking at them. Yeah, they're cool, but I've still got that cockpit problem. So what I done, I haven't finished this, but I'm just going to show you what I done. So I was kind of umming and ahhing about how to go about it. So this is the cool bit-ish, kind of. I found a bit of plastic that when I heated it with a lighter, unlike a Coke bottle that shrinks and all that lot, this is a bit like vac form plastic. It just went floppy. So the minute it went floppy, what I done was I broke the floats off of this Tamiya one, and I heated it with a lighter at about that distance, and just went like that. And when it went soft and floppy, I quickly went like that and pushed it all the way around the little Tamiya one, trying to create a canopy. So that kind of worked. So then what I done was I sanded off the canopy on L'Arsenal and painted it, and then I carefully cut out from my moulding here. There's two on here. There's one there that I went too far, too closely. You can see it burnt the plastic, so I had to go over. So this section here is one I've cut out, and I've got another one there to cut out. So anyway, if I can get it, because it's tiny, but this is just because stupidness. If I can get that on my finger, I now have one tiny little clear cockpit. So I've sanded it down, And now I have a tiny little cockpit there that I can whoop on with a bit of that glue. Wales are winning, but no ambition. Looks cracking. I'm still not doing my Titanic yet. So, all good. So my theory is now, with a little bit of that Ammo MIG Ultra Clear glue, and pop that on there, I should have a little clear canopy. And then I'll be a happy chap. So I'm just going to whip that on now before I do anything, because it will take a while for this to dry. So obviously it's white, but it will dry clear when it's done. I'm just going to do that because I want to see it sitting on there. Just for the fun of it, because I've been doing that this evening, and I'm dying to see what it will look like, as you do. Let's heap on the field. That will speed them. Put some sheep on the field. Just lick my finger there and pop that on there. I have test fitted it to see before I did the glue bit. If I can get that to line up how I want it. It is very small, by the way, at 1/350. So then the next dafty thing that I was thinking is, can I get 1/350 scale decals to pop on it? But that might be a bit of a tall order. Right, if I can get that to straighten up. It's so small, I can hardly see it myself. But that, about that. A little bit more movement, and we should be good. Oh, it really is a bit fiddly, to say the least. Glue's probably come off now. Yeah. I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue on that. I'm not worried about the paint being scratched because I'll repaint it afterwards. It was just for that inner bit more than anything. Try again. I did think about making a mould and resin casting it, but that seemed a lot of effort. More effort than what I've already done, if you know what I mean. So, let's have a look how that looks. Spraying it out a little. Yeah. That should look alright once it's dry, hopefully. Let's just get that little touch on, otherwise it just looks awful. Oh no, not that one. That one. Helps if you use the right paint. Never know, it might be. The glue might dry before the end of the live. I doubt it, but we shall see. Well, that, my friends, is that. Obviously that white bit you're not going to see, that's the glue. That'll dry off and be fine. It'll dry clear, so yeah, happy days. I finally got a clear canopy and a propeller. Yeah. That'll do it. It's so tiny you can hardly see the damn thing anyway, but it's a lot better than obviously what it was. You know. It's got a clear canopy. That's what matters. So that seemed to have worked alright. So I got another little tiny one there to cut out. And it is tiny. Evening Hobby Barn. Hobby Barn. It's a new one. New name. Or a new change of a name. One of the two. So that's where I'm at with that one. That makes a big difference. Cheers, Ron. Yeah. So I've got to go through the whole process again. With them floats. That one there. And then we can do all this photo etch malarkey. And it's tiny, by the way. It's not overly tiny, but it's tiny enough. You can see the prop there. And the little L bits. God knows how I'm going to go about that. It is really thin in some of the bits. But we shall manage. Obviously that will probably be a super glue job. And then there's the little floats. Resin casted there. So it should be interesting. Don't know how easy. Oh, well that's easy enough. That just popped straight off there. That's actually really cool. I was thinking I was going to need to get a saw and all sorts. So that's actually pretty smart. I like that. And it goes like that, upside down like that. So there's a big difference between that with a little groove there and that thing there. It's so much better. Well, that's interesting. I shall be speaking to La Arsenal because I have two planes. I have two planes, but only one set of floats. Terry. Oh, wait, no worries. I shall write that on my little notes. I have a little note thing here. Pen. My little bullet pen. So, hobby bar. Use Terry. No problem at all. There we go. Never to be forgotten. Yeah, that's weird. Definitely only one set of floats in there, with two aircraft, so not helpful. I shall see him in November, and I shall have a word and explain to him, because it's definitely not in there, and I need to, so no. So I'll still chop that one up and get it ready. Right. Oh, clicked the wrong button nearly. Oh, that was close. Get off of that screen. Nearly clicked the wrong one there. Right, so I can't remember where I'm at now. If I'm really honest. Right, that's glued on. That's glued on. That's all glued. Right, that's all glued on. So I'm guessing I've got to glue this lot on. I'm guessing that's where I'm at. Trying to remember, it's been so long. It's not good leaving a build this long. Right, is that all glued on? I don't know if that's glued on or not. It feels it. Yeah. Yeah, that's glued. Right. Right. Up it. Trying to remember how it all goes. Been that long. Right, that goes on there like that. Sweet. I think I'll just use a Rebel glue for that. £28 for a 3M mask. Oh, right. Yeah, I got ya. That's alright. At least it means you can spray what you need to spray without having any health issues, mate. Which is what it's all about. Oh, what about on there? Give that a sec. Alright. I'm going to work this on. I think it sits on there in there. I know I was painting guns because I can see guns painted, so I must have been at that stage of just trying to remember where I'm at. I normally use Tamiya glue, but at the end of the day, this will give a better bond and not ruin the paint. There you go. So at least that won't fall off again. Should give that a little dust really before I get too much into here. Ladies' makeup brushes are great. They're soft, they're gentle, and they do the job. This is what happens when it's been in storage for so long. Instant weathering, that's what I call it. Someone's messaging. Now, right, let's get that broken crane that I can see. Remember I said I broke a crane? Whenever it is, look. Right, I'll whip this one on first. For some reason, that way round. Sure, I've done this in a few different greys and whatnot, just to mix it all up a bit. Can't even see where that goes. Yeah. That can't be like that. Trying to remember everything. There isn't much to this. It's a lot of rigging and stuff afterwards. Oh, nice makeup brush, suits you. Yeah, yeah. I say it's a missus, but reality is it might not be. Right. See if that'll stay there like that. It's got a gun to go next to it as well, I believe. So that's one on. On that side. Now to try and repair this one. So what I'm going to do with that is I shall get some super glue first. And I shall super glue it first to hold it. And then use another glue after. If it'll work. Should work. Go for it painting. Lots of mad names that I've not seen before. All good. But just ones I've not seen before. Right, if I hold that on there like that for a minute. Talk some cobblers. Tirpitz ended up being 2,000 ton heavier. Alright, Alan. What are you doing, chap? I'm a new sub. Cool. Thanks for popping in and subscribing, I guess. I'll try and subscribe back to you, pal, once later on once I get home. So I've still not got the display box yet for the Night Rider, but I will get around to it. The guy's chuffed to bits with it anyway, and he's seen pictures of it. Right, hopefully that'll hold in a minute. Just like to give it a minute because I don't want to let go and it all just fall off and I've got to start again. Quite a lot of weight up there, so right, it's kind of got it, but not enough. So what I'm going to try and do is find something to support it for a minute. It'll save me sitting here with my finger on it. It's not going to happen. Can't believe I broke it off. It was when I was moving here into the shop from the house. What can I use? Must be something here. Oh, that's a nice angle on it too. Not high enough. What's that? Apple. Spaghetti and boar burgers broken down, half a bottle of tomato sauce and barbecue sauce washed down with chocolate chilled milk. Oh no, tomato sauce and barbecue sauce. Well, that's got it. Oh, look at that. There's me looking for something and it's held it. So I'm just going to put a little drop of this Revel glue on just to make sure it's proper glued. As you know, super glue is brittle and I'll end up breaking that again. So once that's dried, I'll give it a little bit extra support on the bit. Awesome. So we've got our cranes on now, you see. Dazzle camo works really well. Like, you can hardly see the crane until you look like that. And you can see the cranes. That's really smart. I quite like the way they did it. I like the whole idea of the Dazzle camo. I think it's smart, that. So, go for it painting. Welcome along. Nothing special, just me waffling on, doing a bit. So, you got a first name, pal? So I can write it down and not forget. We've got some guns down here that I painted. Here's some that I done earlier, kind of attitude. Just some little guns there that we painted before. But I know which ones they are because I worked on one side if I remember rightly. So I believe it's a bit big, this, for my bench. I believe that one will go on there like that. And then that one I think went on there. I'm going by the Dazzle camo, trying to work out where I put the guns when I did it originally. Because obviously I blended it in to match. If you remember, it was like half a ton of. There you go. was like half a ton of masking tape, and then that one was just grey on that side. Yeah, that's right, because it's got a little bit of light grey on the barrel there. So that's been when we done the guns last time to match the camo. So I'm going to glue them in position, and then we can start. I can figure out where I was at on the other side. Just pop that out for a sec. It's quite tight in there. Maybe that's why I didn't glue that superstructure on yet. It's glued on now, so it's too late. Try not to knock that crane again. That's one in. Two. And the last one. Now I've got no more guns down there, so I'm definitely back to painting guns again. That's for sure. Because after that it's the little boats. Can't remember where the boats go. On the side here, I think. Was I doing the boats last time actually? See these little boats. There they are. Those are little boats there. I remember masking them and doing that. It was a nightmare. Just wondering if these bigger ones were supposed to be done like that as well. I think they had a white band actually. I think I was working on these and the guns at the same time. I'll have to look into that because it's been that long. But we shall figure it out. No, it's coming together. That's for sure. That's the guns on. All that shenanigans. I don't want to tilt it too much. Wait a minute. I need to find this side. Over this side now, I guess. Try and work out the colours and the camo. That one's going to be... No, that's grey as well. They're all grey on this side. Or them three are anyway. So happy days. Now if you remember, my instructions weren't the greatest instructions when I had. There's still a lot of plastic in that box, by the way. Sure, it's just printed off A4 sheets. So it's not the greatest way of trying to work. But we shall figure it out. I'm not going to let it beat me. I've got little tiny guns as well to chuck on all over the place. Oh, the joys. Alright, let's get this out of the way a minute. Before I break them cranes again. Right. There's one of these, it's got guns on it. And they're big guns. or medium ones, sorry. I'll find the sheet with the medium guns. Right, that's it there. That's the sheet I need. In my little tub. Two like that, and one like that, and there's some right microscopic ones in here, and little racks of some sort. I can't even remember half of what this is, by the way. Oh the joys, it's been that long, it's too long. Right, these ones here, you need to spray these little blighters. And get the airbrush over. I'm gonna make sure that it's not, definitely not on any camo. No, definitely not on any of the camo. So it's just that darker grey. I can't remember what grey it was. Fire up the airbrush, I'll look and see if I can figure out what grey it was. That one? Not too dark. That one? Too dark. Too light. Oh my gosh. Can't remember what grey it was. That looks it. Yep, gunship grey. That's what I done it in. Looks of it. Yeah. That'll do, mate. Fire up the airbrush. 1 second. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yeah. I'll get the hose right over. Awesome. Hopefully this is the right grey, and if not, I'll just spray them again. I'm gonna do it. Sorted. Wales win 28-8. Happy days. If you're a Welsh fan, that is. Light, but I think it's right when it's. It goes darker once it's varnished, though. I only know that because I painted the lid. Thought it was going to be one of them where the bottle don't open and all in a minute. Right. that. Clamp it to somewhere. What's that? That was William versus Harry. Wales playing Tiddlywinks again. That will do me. Happy chap. So I'm spraying just over 8 psi again. A little bit too high really, to be honest. Don't you love it when you're painting a grey gun and you're painting it grey? It's like, it is a different grey. Stick that there like that for a minute. That reminds me, Paul, infusion. I'll have to look out that video again. I forgot to look it out for you. Remember I said last night on the Zoom chat thing we were doing. Now, leave them to dry for a minute. What else have we got to do? We stand a better chance of playing Tiddlywinks. Hey, watching a game is just a break from the norm. That's not such a bad thing. That's for sure. Anything that's slightly different to the norm is good. Keeps your head in the right space. I'm just going to put a bit of cleaner through this. I'll be 2 seconds. Just blow a bit of cleaner through. There we go. Sorted. So, there's loads of microscopic tiny things I've got to deal with, but we're not ready for that yet. So, they all go there, that goes there, and we've got the big boy, number 4. That's one of these big buggers, isn't it? 4A, 4B, I've got 3 and 4A again. I'll be method in my reasoning for that. Oh, I see, one of them's got a mad little bit on it. So, we've got two sticky out bits here. We've got one with a sticky out bit and a circular bit, and then we've got one standard. So according to this, one of these here goes on the prop end, which is that end. And we'll go on there. So this one is definitely going to need some of that shenanigans again, because looking at it, it is right in the middle of that dazzle camo look. So I'm going to have to do this from here in that grey, and then from there up in that grey. Is that tape you've put there? I've got a silly little love heart thing on the YouTube chat, whatever that's for. Oh right, I see. It's for silly emojis while I'm talking to you, which I'm not ever going to use, but unfortunately, Paul, it's halfway across your comment, so I can't even see what your comment says at the moment. Once someone else comments, it will lift up one, and then I'll be able to see. It'll just see, is that tape you've put the I'm guessing, right, because there's the silly emoji bit. I'm guessing you're saying, is that tape you put the guns on? I think that's what you said. Yes, mate. If that's what you said, then yeah. What I'd done was, when I was assembling the guns, I was numbering them on the back. So gun number 3 on the instructions. Do you know what I mean? So I've got 2 4As. Tape on the gun. Yeah. See, it's jumped up now. It's gone past the love art and I can see it now. Yeah. So yeah, I just put a bit of tape on the back of them so I knew what one was what part when I assembled the guns. Because it was a year and a half ago and I'd never remember otherwise. So I've got that one 4B. So it's just purely so I knew what gun went where. The other thing I do, most people know when they see my lives, is when I start a kit, I get all the sprues, and because the writing's so tiny, like A, B, C and all that, what I do is I put a bit of masking tape on the sprue frame, and I write in big letters A, B, C or whatever the sprue is. So then when I'm doing a live, I can pick up the sprue really quickly and find it really fast, rather than messing about and not being able to know which, like that with a magnifier every 5 minutes. If that makes sense. Because I really am a kind of have to have a magnifier kind of guy. So that's that one at the back. So you've got 2 like that at the back. Right, I see. Okay, so that one. Alright, Dan, how you doing, pal? So that one goes, it's going to have guns and that on this one, little extra machine guns. So that one will go on there, like so, with the barrels up. It doesn't, yeah, it just helps. And then the smooth one, which is that one, goes underneath her, like that. And that one goes on there. Like that. And lift the guns up. So, happy days, as they say. The guns do go up and down. I didn't glue them in specifically. So there's the the big guns on. There's two there. As you can see, it's all in that dazzle edges and different colours. So again, I'm going to be prattling about trying to do this grey line here and bringing it up across that gun there, and then the same that side for that one, and then doing dark grey on the rest of it. And then this delightful side is not too bad. It's just that front one there to line that dazzle grey up. The rest of it doesn't seem too bad, just dark grey. And then this side, pretty much the same on them same guns. It's just lining up that dazzle arc there. That one's going to be a bit of a pain. Oh, not that one. It's because I've not glued them on yet, you know, obviously I'm painting. So that one's going to be a pain there, because I've got that little tiny and it goes wider and wider as it comes up. So then I've got to work out how wide it is to bring it across that gun there. And then that one there, I've got a weird little bit there. And then that'll be dark grey. You know, you get the gist. It's it can be a bit of prattling about there. And that one's even worse. Well, not too bad actually, because I can probably get away with the back of that, because that's just come straight up to that. But I've still got that one there to bring up, and then the back end of that one, and then we should be good. So what I'll do though is I'll probably spray the dark grey first, and then work it out afterwards, mask it up and do the light grey. And of course I've got all these little ones on this side still to put on as well once they're dry. But they're in the normal grey, so that's not too bad. Happy days. That's them dry. Can handle them now. They're definitely dry. Push it right down hard on my hand. No paint. So they're good to go. I'll quickly glue them on. Let's get these off for a minute. I don't forget. And I shall have a word with Arsenal when I'm at Telford and explain to them what's happened. That I've only got one set of floats. I'm just going to glue this on so it's ready for next time. And we'll be good. That one goes in there. Well, I do that a different grey then once, I think. No, I'll be alright. And under there. So, and the last one, the bat wings. Goes on there. Put that on there. Happy days anyway. So, we've got the guns on, we've got the cranes fixed, we've got the superstructure fitted on. Done a fair bit really, to be honest. We ain't done bad. And yeah, all good fun. And we've got my little Ardo playing as well. So have a little look at it, because it should be just about dry now. Yeah. It's gone clear now, near enough. So you can see it's a little clear bit there. And we'll get that photo etch on it and the prop and all that. And happy days. But I'm glad about that. It was doing my head in not having a little clear prop canopy on it. And I went to all that effort, just on another note, went to all that effort sanding that canopy off, melting the plastic, stretching it over, doing everything. I'm looking for 1/350 scale decals, and what do I see? Trumpeter 130, 1/350 scale Ardo plane with a clear canopy and bloody decals. Typical. But there you go. It is what it is. We're model builders, we're not assemblers. It's so much better than this little thing anyway. Better than the kit one. So, happy days. Cheers, Harry. Well, I say, down a boat goes underwater, ships sail above water. So technically you're wrong. Hey, a boat, a ship, or a submarine, it'll all go underwater if I had anything to do with it. That's for sure. Well, that's an hour. 7 o'clock, gone 7, and I've got to close up the shop because it's time for me to go home and start my day job tomorrow again. So like I say, next Saturday I won't be here. Unfortunately, I'm at Scale Scotland. I don't know if I can go live on my phone. I've never tried. So we'll see. If I can, I'll say hi live. If not, I'll just post some pictures on social media. So as you know, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and all that kind of stuff. So happy days. All good. Cheers for popping by, everyone. Thumbs up, likes, whatever, chit chat. All good to see you. Thanks to the new subscribers. I will subscribe back as soon as I get home. And that's it. So I'll be back a week on Saturday next week. So I can't remember what date that is exactly. Let's have a look. I shall be back on the 30th. And we'll carry on. As you do. So, all good fun. Cheers, Terry. You too, buddy. So anyway, guys, enjoy your weekend, even though I'm working my full weekends. And I'll see you on the 30th, hopefully. I'll set up a stream ready so you can click notify me or whatever, you know. The good thing is I remembered to click live chat because it come up top chat again. Like last week, Apple. Remember when I couldn't see anyone chatting and I couldn't understand why, and YouTube had changed everything. Well, I remembered to click live chat, so at least I got to see that quickly. So everything went smooth for once. Happy days. Right, guys, listen, take care, stay safe, and thanks very much for popping by. And you know where to find me if you need me. Social media, just Google, you'll find me. And send a message anytime. Take care, guys. See you again soon. Bye-bye for now. And then I've got to remember where all the other buttons is.